Hello there, I'm Fernanda, and in this video I'm going to show you my Spring Capsule Wardrobe for 2022. And honestly, I am struggling with how to start this video because the truth is that my wardrobe is changing. If you've been with me for the last few months, you know that I've been going through this wardrobe revamp because I had a color analysis done, and that experience, as well as really honing in on my style and what works, has really illuminated my wardrobe in a way that it had never before. But what that means is that my wardrobe is actually working better on a larger scale. So the concept of putting together a minimalist wardrobe for the season is not really working that well for me anymore. So we're gonna talk about it. And today I'm partnering with Vivaia to bring you this video. They were originally a footwear company founded on a mission to create stylish and sustainable footwear. And over time, they've expanded to an incredible collection of accessories, clothing, you name it. But their footwear, let me tell you what I like so much about their footwear. They check all of the boxes that I look for in a shoe. It is incredibly comfortable, incredibly stylish, and easy to clean because God knows that there's a lot of footwear companies out there that are such a pain to keep neat and tidy. And what I like about them the most, actually let me show you, is that they're easy to travel with because check this out. Yes, you can fold them like this and bring them on your suitcase or in your purse if you ever have a meeting that you have to wear heels to and then you just want to commute in a flat. You can put this in your purse and they take no space. So let's get into it right away. Let me start showing you some clothes and we'll talk about all of these things, capsule wardrobes, mindsets, stylish footwear as the video goes on. So as I mentioned, over the last 6 months, I've really honed in on my style, which has meant that anything that I've purchased in the last 6 months or so has really been on point and have been purchases that I've wanted to wear over and over again, with the exception of one thing. So there's a couple of those pieces that I'm really excited to wear this spring, including, how could I not? This is like my favorite piece in my wardrobe right now. I bought it for my winter capsule wardrobe. It's my favorite color to wear now. I never knew that I looked good on navy. And this is just a piece that honestly makes me feel so happy whenever I put it on. What I like about it, and the reason why I think it's going to work in the spring, is because this chiffon is very lightweight, and I'm gonna pair it with a couple of sneakers and maybe a denim jacket, something like that. But it's also a good piece that I can wear with fleece-lined tights as it's still a little cool outside, and it will transition very well. Come to summer, it will be a little bit warm for it, but it'll be great in fall too. Another piece that's really been working for me, it's this pine green surplus top, which was my first purchase after my color analysis. But here's another thing that I discovered about myself. My basics really need a little bit of something. If I get a basic that's too basic, it really doesn't feel like me and I won't wear it. And I finally realized that. So my basics look something like this. They have either an interesting cut or a fine little detail that is going to make it a little bit edgier than just a regular knit top with a crew neck, something like that. Another piece that I'm bringing back, which I just realized I forgot to steam, is this magenta top that I got for my winter capsule wardrobe. It's really warm. It's a combination of wool and cotton blend. And so I don't know if it's going to be something that I wear towards the later spring, but right now, early spring, it's going to be fantastic and I can always layer a jacket over it. And speaking of basics, you'll notice that this one has a little bit of detailing. This is the kind of thing that I need. It has a little bit of a ruffle at the neck, a little bit of a ruffle at the sleeve, and a little bit of texture. Something like this is a great basic for me. It's going to pair very easily and it's gonna work, but it needs a little bit of detail. Next, I did want to start bringing in some sleeveless tops because it is going to get warmer as the season goes on and I wanted to be prepared to that. But another thing that I've discovered and finally made peace with is that if I'm going to be wearing short sleeves, they need to hit me at a very specific point and they need to look a very specific way. Short sleeve t-shirts, things like that, or blouses, I really don't like. I don't feel like myself in. So my solution is sleeveless tops that I can layer easily with a sweater or a cardigan over. For bottoms, of the pieces that I already had in my wardrobe, I was definitely going to bring back these two pairs of skinny jeans, both from Madewell. One of them is gray and the other one is black. They combine very well with all of the colors that I have over here because they're both neutral and they're very comfortable. They're a very typical expression of my personal style, so why not wear them? As far as pieces that you've seen in other previous capsules of mine go, this was my starting base. These were the pieces that I knew I definitely wanted to bring into the spring, and I started building the capsule around this. And what I'm realizing is that as I get more specific with my style, I would like to eventually just dress from a 30 or 40 piece capsule year round that all mix and matches together, as opposed to creating a 15-piece capsule that's all what I dress from every season. Does that fit neatly into YouTube content? Maybe, maybe not necessarily. I don't know yet what I'm going to do, but I think it is important to address these kinds of things, because the truth is that what works for us in a very specific period of our lives is not always going to be the same, and I think it's okay to change. Don't lock yourself up in a box of saying,
I'm the minimalist capsule wardrobe girl, therefore I must do this thing.
If it's not working for you anymore, allow yourself to evolve, because you'll be better for it. Next, I want to show you two pieces that I bought actually a few months ago, but that I bought knowing that these were going to be great pieces for spring. So first, I found this dress, which is perfect for me. Again, detail. It has a little bit of a sparkle in it that is very difficult to see. And this is the exact type of short sleeve that I am comfortable wearing in the spring. It is a little fluttery. It hits at my elbow, so it's not super short. And the style of this dress is very comfortable for me, and I can pair it with sneakers or with boots, and I can dress it up or down with a sweater over. So this, the second I saw it, I was like, I need that. This is gonna be a perfect dress for spring and summer for me. So this next piece I actually found a few months ago. I got really lucky. I came across it, found it on sale, and it basically ticked all of the boxes of something that I've been looking for. I knew I wasn't really going to need it until the spring, but it was too good of an opportunity to pass, so I purchased it on the spot. This damson raincoat from London Fog, which was fantastic because I had actually been looking for a new raincoat. If you remember my last few spring capsules, I used to have a pink trench coat that worked really well, but I had 2 issues with it. It was really starting to show signs of wear. I had had it for years. And second, it wasn't really a raincoat. I used it as a raincoat, but it wasn't waterproof and it didn't have a hood. And when I found this one, after discovering that it was in my colors, this is actually waterproof and it has a hood, and it is meant to be worn in the rain, which if you know New York in the spring, it rains a lot. And I really needed something that would keep me very dry. This is one of my new spring pieces, which I'm probably gonna keep for years. These are all of the pieces that I already had in my wardrobe that I selected to put into this spring capsule. If you know my capsule wardrobe formula, you know that it's usually about 15 pieces, and this is 8, so it's pretty good. However, there are some gaping holes in this capsule. The way that I'm trying to think about it is a grid. So for example, think of all the bottoms on one side and all the tops on the other, and I'm trying to figure out a top that can work all of my bottoms and a bottom that can work with all of the tops. So even though this capsule is still pretty good, it's a little bit lackluster in the bottoms department. So I needed new bottoms, and I found 2. First, I was really looking for a pair of everyday pants that would be different from that cut of skinny jean that I tend to gravitate towards a lot. And I found these incredible pants. They're from Cezanne. I like never know, and I never know what's more disrespectful. Trying to pronounce it properly and failing, or just trying to pronounce it the best way that you can. What do you think? Leave it in the comments below, because people mispronounce my name all the time, and frankly at this point it doesn't make a difference to me. But about the pants. So this is just a paper bag pair of jeans in this acid white wash. It does have a little bit of detail on it, and they're very high-waisted, and it does come with a belt around it that I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to wear all the time, because it does create a lot of volume around my waist, and because I am petite, it has the potential of making me look a little bit shorter than I actually am. So we have to see about the tie. But these, first of all, they're so comfortable. They fit like a dream, and whenever I put them on, I just feel like they make up the whole outfit. Like I could pair with a tank top or a very simple top, and I'm like, okay, I'm properly dressed. I'm in love with these. I cannot wait to wear these more and more. And last, in the bottoms category, I was looking for a skirt because I didn't want another pair of pants. I needed to really get out of that same outfit formula over and over again. And while I did have 2 dresses, I just wanted to be able to make skirt outfits with separates. found this skirt, which was like honestly such a great find. I love the texture of it. It's very tweed and it has black, gray, and like this icy blue, which is also a winter color. If you don't know, I am a House of Color winter, very proud of it. And I'm basically in the process of building my wardrobe in my winter colors. These are the kinds of pieces that I need in my wardrobe. I need pieces that have a little bit of something to feel put together. Otherwise, I feel a little bit underdressed and frumpy, and that's not a good feeling. And plus, the color is great for spring and summer so that I could realistically wear it as the seasons go on. But the material is textured enough and thick enough that I can probably wear it with tights in the winter. So it's going to be a very versatile piece in my wardrobe for seasons to come. And once I found those two bottoms, then I started looking for more top options that would combine with all four of my bottoms. So here's what I got. So first up, I really felt like I needed a dark neutral in my wardrobe that wasn't black, because everything in my wardrobe had been essentially black, and I wanted to vary it up with these two pieces. So I found this sweater, very basic piece for me, which is going to work both this spring, in the fall, and then next winter. And it's one of my new favorite colors on me, so I just needed something like this. I really needed another piece that I could wear as the weather gets warmer without a layer and be very comfortable. Very simple, very basic tank top. Here's the kind of thing that I know now to look for. Unless the structure is very square and it like really has a lot of structure on the neckline, I really don't do well with scoop necks or just like regular tank tops. I do better with halter necks or razorbacks, those kinds of things. Not that it looks bad on me, but I don't feel like myself in it. So moving forward, I know that I can have wardrobe basics, but that I need to have this kind of cut or some kind of halter top around it, or something that has like a little bit of sleeve detail to make it feel like me. Moving on to shoes. So I had really been looking for a timeless classic pair of black pointy toe flats, because that was something that I had really noticed that my wardrobe really needed. I have a lot of really fun shoes with a lot of patterns, and those are phenomenal. But the thing is that when I'm wearing something as loud as what I'm wearing today, I really need an understated but classic and elegant shoe to really bring the whole outfit together. So Vivaia came through for me and they sent the Aria 5 upgrade shoe. If you know Vivaia, you know that they had their Aria flat, which is one of their best-selling flats, and it was pretty good, but they took all of their customer feedback that they had and they improved on the design, and they came up with this one, which is a ton of great features. First of all, let's talk about the insole, because I think that's one of the coolest features. This is the most legit insole you've ever seen on a flat before. It's cushioned here at the heel so that it's super comfortable when you're walking. It feels like walking on a cloud. And it has arch support right here so that it actually hugs your foot as you're walking. And one of the things that I like the most about this flat is that what they improved is actually in the toe box. So as you know, with pointy toes, usually your toes are very cramped and they like are on top of each other and it makes them very uncomfortable. But what they did is that they made the toe box 5 degrees wider, so it makes the shoe extra comfortable. And not only did they send me this, but they actually came through and they sent me another pair. Let me show you this one. This is their Macy style, which is very similar in shape, but this one actually has like everything I've been saying in this video that my wardrobe needs. It is a very classic, basic shoe, but it has interest. It has a great color. I mean, can we talk about this? Is this not the perfect winter pine green? But also, look at this little texture. Like, it's in the details, you guys. That's where personal style lies. And this is like one of the perfect shoes for my wardrobe. Not only that, check out that. Like, this is really good for when you're walking around, because I actually tend to step really hard on my heels, and something like that extra support is incredible. The insole is made from basically the same material that your yoga mat is made of, and they really do feel like you're walking around on a cloud whenever you're wearing them. They are really some of the most comfortable flats I've ever worn, and they fold. What I like the most, and this goes for all Vivaia shoes, is that they are machine washable. So as you know, your shoes get super dirty, especially mine, because I'm walking around in grime all day long. But if your shoes are gross, then the whole outfit just kind of looks gross. And these are super easy to clean. Basically, you just pop them into a delicates bag and then just tossing them in the washing machine, launder them with the rest of your clothes, and then you lay them out to dry for an hour and they're good to go in a matter of seconds and they look brand new. So that to me is a fantastic selling feature. So highly recommend you check out either of these flats because they are really going to be some of the most comfortable pointy toe flats that you've ever worn in your life. And if you are interested in purchasing them, Vivaia did send me a discount code for you. The code Fernanda will give you 18% off your entire purchase. And actually, while we're at it, I do want to give you a little note on sizing. Usually with pointy toes, we tend to size up so that the toes have room to wiggle and it's not super uncomfortable. With Vivaia, you really don't need to do that. In fact, I recommend that you size down because in order to get the benefit from all of the features of the insole and like really hugging your foot properly, it's super important that the shoe fits you correctly. And that is really going to come from your usual number or half a number down. Do not size up. You really don't need to. That's their differentiating features when it comes to pointy toes. Highly recommend you check them out. I will leave you everything linked in the description box below. And finally, for shoes, I did need a new pair of sneakers because the ones that I bought last spring have moved on to greener pastures. So I just bought a classic pair of Adidas brand courts in white. They're not going to stay these white, and these are not machine washable, but they're gonna be great. If only all shoes were machine washable, because I really feel that that would be a game changer. And finally, I do want to round up this capsule with a few more layers. So after I had looked at this entire capsule, which was really what I'm going to be wearing in the spring, I really felt like I needed more jackets because I think that spring is one of those times where you really need to be taking layers on and off throughout the day. And while in the future, I am looking to bring in some more jackets into my wardrobe, right now I was like, you know what, I've shopped enough and I can probably make do with what I have. So I shopped my own closet. And I'm going to include, first things first, this cardigan, which I feel like every time I include it in a capsule wardrobe, I say that it's really worst for wear right now and it needs to go out. But it persists, man. Like it wants to stay. And finally, I felt like I needed another lighter layer, just like a simple jacket. And here, frankly, I had trouble choosing because, again, as I'm mentioning, my wardrobe is getting to the point where it's really very versatile and I'm really enjoying it. So I wanted to include only one jacket in the capsule because I really didn't need anything else. And I had trouble deciding between this jacket and my denim jacket, but I ultimately went for this one because I felt like the color was closer to everything that I already had in the capsule. But I do want to say that that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be wearing my denim jacket this spring, not necessarily. This is more so honestly for YouTube purposes, so that when I film my outfits video, which is coming next week, I don't have like a million pieces, because the point of those videos is to really show you that you don't need a super extensive wardrobe in order to be able to have a lot of versatility. So for now, this is the final piece of my spring capsule wardrobe. And here's something that I'm noticing just now is that, like, looking at my wardrobe on its own, it's really not in spring colors. But it doesn't matter, because the truth is that I feel like I can be dressed in spring ways very easily, even if this is my color palette. This is a color palette that is working really well for me and my coloring. And the other thing that you need to keep in mind is that your wardrobe needs to suit you, your point in life, the city where you live, all of these things. In New York, if I walk out with all pastels, I'm gonna get dirty in like 2 seconds. That doesn't mean that I don't love color in my wardrobe. Like, I went to a dinner party recently where every single person was wearing black and I was wearing magenta. As far as New York goes, I already stand out a lot, and I am not the kind of person who wants to wear like pastels and lilacs, and like, that's just not my thing. So this works really well for me. And it's very important that when you build your capsule, you build something that works really well for you. Ignore the trends, ignore what people are telling you, make sure it works for you, and that's how it'll be successful. So there you have it. This is my capsule wardrobe for spring of 2022. And I wanna hear from you. I wanna hear what you think of this change. How do you think I can adapt my YouTube content and what I regularly do season to season to fit my wardrobe right now? And are you going through the same thing? What are your overall goals for your wardrobe? Do we like the grid planning? Because I think that might have to come into play in the future. I'm really enjoying that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you did like this video, it would mean so much to me if you give it a huge thumbs up and share it with a friend who is also perhaps a House of Color winter, because you know, we like seeing other wardrobes in our color palettes. And if you're interested in seeing in how drastically different this is from my last 2 spring capsules, I will leave you linked right here so that you can check the last 2 year spring capsules, and I'll see you in the comments over there.